Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of the Scrappin' Crafty Gardener. Today I'm going to be doing some watercoloring, and I didn't really have an idea in mind, but yesterday my friends and I were out, and we stopped at Joann Fabrics on the way home, and I found this magazine. It's from Great Britain, Creative Stamping. My goodness, it was $24.99. But I had a gift card and I had some total off my total price coupons that worked and brought it down to $14.99 for me. But the magazine itself is okay. But the reason I got it is it included this stamp set, Fabulous Florals, Sentimentally Yours. And it is just chock full of different kinds of rubber stamps. And it had these sentiment strips, not sentiment strips, sentiment rubber stamps. Happy birthday, thinking of you, to someone special, best wishes, hello. And that itself was awesome. I looked online. I'll show you. In the back of this magazine, they show the stamps that are next month's episode. And I have already seen them being used for some cards. It's these people. It looks like a wedding party, an elderly man and woman walking away, some graduation party style people. And I'd love to get those stamps. So I'm going to look again for one more issue of this magazine. And I looked online. If anyone here in the US subscribes to this, from what I'm seeing on the website, instead of $24.99 for one issue, it's $24.99 for 3 issues. If that's right, that's a great deal and you always get this many stamps and sentiments. That's just amazing. But we're going to use this today, and I'm going to use, I stamped some. This is just my scrap stamp. This is another stamp, not in this set, but I stamped some of the little pieces parts to see how they stamped. And oh my goodness, I think I love this stamp set. All right, I'm going to use this big floral today. I wanted to do stenciling to try out my new grip mat. So at the end of this, I will try that. But I did get my grip mats for my Misty. I got the master set. So I have a little grip mat in my tiny little Misty. And in this Misty, and I've got the large 8.5 by 8.5 size for stenciling. And I'm in love. No more lines from double-sided adhesive that I had, well, this is a smaller foam. I had to tape the foam down in here, and then I had the tape on top of the My Sweet Petunia sticky mat, and it just looked a mess. I just have this in here. And it takes the place of all of that. And I checked it out with that rubber stamp. Oh, where did I put it now? But anyways, I checked it out with a red rubber stamp. Oh, yeah, this stamp. This was a red rubber stamp. And I was still able to do it with this sticky mat in there. Because normally you have to take this out in order to, your foam out in order to use a red rubber stamp. But it worked perfectly with that stamp. All right, so let's get started. For our card today, it's going to be another 5x7. And you don't need a lot of products for today. This is a 10x7 piece of paper, 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it in half at the 5-inch mark, creased it, and scored it with my bone folder. Then I just need a piece of black or whatever background color you want, measuring 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then I'm using watercolor paper. And I'm using the Northwoods Stamp Company's watercolor paper. And this measures 4.5 by 6.5. Now I'm just going to put this in my stamping platform, and you can put it anywhere now. It just sticks. And then this stamp. And I kind of want it to go a little catty corner, because I want to put a sentiment down here I'll move that so you can see it. I want to put a sentiment down here and up here, and we might as well pick our sentiment while we're here and stamping everything all at one time. I'm thinking best wishes. And put that right there. All right. Look at that. It holds the paper down. Goodbye magnets. Goodbye double-sided tape. And I'm going to be stamping this with my VersaFine Clair in Nocturne. My GinaK Black Onyx needs re-inked. And this just gives me a nice dark color black to start with. And I'm going to use my homemade stamping helper. Works great. And that Aleene's Tacky's keeping that felt on the bottom of this without any issues. Oh, that looks good. I think I'll just do a little bit down here. Oop, looks like the power's blinking today, which I don't understand. Perfect. Oh, I love this stamp set. And now I'm just gonna clean this off with some water. And I have a new clean rag. Stick this over here and this over here. All right, and I'm just gonna clean this too. You just clean it with water if you get some ink on it. And they say if it gets unsticky, to wash it with some warm water, and it'll get the sticky back. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can watercolor. And how I'm going to do it today is by using, I only have a handful of these Nuvo yes, Pumpkin. I'm sorry, my cat's down here with me today. One of my cats. Nuvo watercolor pens. But you can also use, did you know, Crayola washable markers? All you have to do is like scribble onto a sticky mat. And I have a scrap piece of paper here that I will show you. This is not watercolor paper. But then you just take your watercolor brush and you can color and get shading depending on, you can color with those. And I usually do, but today for the colors I wanted, they were better represented with my Nuvo markers. Okay. This is going to be a fairly easy peasy, quick and easy. Now I'm going to do the greenery, and I'm going to use, let's see, get my scrap paper back. I picked out a couple of different colors. And I need a little bit more water to come out of this one. Not that much. There we go. All right. I'm going to color the greenery first, and then I'll come back and highlight it. And I'm not going to color these in fully. I'm going to leave a little bit of white showing. I want it to look like an abstract watercolor. Well, if there is such a thing. Please stay down, Pumpkin. And this is what I have pictured in my mind anyways. I hope this will work. If not, I'll go back and fill in the colors that I didn't color in. See, I'm leaving a few edges white, a few little pieces here and there white. And here's some greenery. And this VersaFine Clair, it absorbed really well into the watercolor paper. So I didn't have to heat set it or really wait too quickly for it to dry. I didn't have to wait long at all. All right, I think, oh, nope, there's a couple leaves up here I missed. Now I'm going to try a little shading today. So I have this brighter, it's called Fresh Green. And I'm just going to put a few accents here and there. not the whole way. Just a little bit here and there, just to give a little bit of color and depth. I'm trying. Just a little highlight to the leaves. So my goal is to have fun. I don't want to feel too structured, too set in my ways. I want to try new things. And I haven't really tried shading before. That actually doesn't look too bad. Now for my flower colors, I'm going to kind of go muted. I don't want these to be anything too bright. So I'm going to do, let's start with, what flower? This one. I'm kind of going with pinks and blues and purple yellows. This is like a pinky purple. And see, I'm leaving spots uncolored. And that's I'm doing that on purpose. And then I'm going to go in and add a little bit more color here. All right, now I'll do this little one here, I believe. Like I said, if anybody out there knows about this magazine and their deals, because like I really balked at that $24.99, but then when I got to thinking about it, before I found out that the coupons and everything and the gift card brought it down to $14.99, that I think the stamps were well worth that price at the $24.99. But if you subscribe, do you get all these stamps all the time? Or is this just a hit or miss? All right. Okay, we'll do these ones down here. And please, feel free, let me know if you think that I should have colored every little spot, maybe leaving the little pieces of white that I'm leaving looks terrible. I'm trying to get a different perspective on things. I'm trying to grow in my card making and scrapbooking skills. Now with these grip mats that I got from Waffle Flower, oh my gosh, I love them. Now if they could only come out with one to fit the large Misty, I guess it would hold like a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So when I'm doing my card scrapbooking pages, or if I want to color a whole bunch of things at once, then I could do it on my larger platform. Now, I don't want anyone to think I went out and bought all three of these. My sister-in-law and my friend and I scrapbook together here at my house on Wednesday nights. So we buy things together and then we use them here. Now, I did buy the large platform and the medium platform, and my friend bought the little tiny platform. Oh, okay, this is coming out fairly well, I think. Now, I might use some of my markers to get some different shadings on these. Make sure that's not too dark. Okay. Oh, I guess I should have put let's put another yellow flower up here. I don't want to go too crazy with my colors, but I want to have a little bit of each color represented. This one needs a little bit more water. You just press and the water comes back down to the tip. Sometimes too much at first. This is a little bit brighter than the other colors, but just to kind of set it off. I love this stamp. Some of the stamps in the set, not quite sure what you're supposed to do with them. Maybe frame a picture or a sentiment somehow. I don't know. I think I do need a little bit more there. Leaving too much uncolored. Okay, and a big, whatever kind of flowers these are. Not being precise, just kind of scribbling. All right, now let's see. I think we do need a few accents. I'm not sure. Let's try. I'm just going to try putting them in with the marker itself. Just adding a few hints of another color in here. I'm trying shading. All right, now see if I have anything that matches the pink color. Now, let's see if this one will work. Oh, that's too bright. That one's probably, too bright. I need more of a rosy pink. Oh, perhaps this is it. Okay, that'll work. Just experiment. Get your stuff out and play and have fun. And you just might make something you're pleased with. All right, need a little something for the yellow. And I don't know if... Okay, we'll go with a little brownish yellow. Get out your, if you have kids, get out your kids' Crayola markers. You can color with them just like this, or if you want to tone down, see I made a stripe there that I'm not real happy with, so let's get out my plain old watercolor, tone it down and blend it in a little bit more. All right. I think that's it with the coloring. All right. Okay, now I'm just going to blow on that a little bit. It's pretty much dry already. So let's put this together. This is going to be quick and easy today. And then I'll show you stenciling on my new grip mat. It came with all this glue. It came with a lot of different sizes. Because I got the bundle set from Amazon. There's some sizes that came with it that I'm really not sure what I would do with. Let's get this lined up. And then what I'm going to do is put my stamping block on top of this to dry while I show you the stenciling. Because with the watercolor, it could warp slightly. So I'm just going to sit this up here. Get my stamping platform that I redid and put it on there. Okay. Now, I've not opened this yet. The smaller ones were a little difficult to open, as is this one. So when you get arthritis in your fingers, it's a little hard to get this off, but I think it's going to be worth it. Okay, and I'm just going to, I'll move this over here. I'm going to plop it right down here. I have just a generic stencil I got on Amazon and a piece of scratch paper. I'm going to put my paper down, put my stencil down, and let's see how it works. I just got some GinaK Wild Wisteria here. I'm going to ink it up. Excuse the reach. I'm not even going to hold it. I'm going to see what it does on its own. I keep wanting to hold it. Oh, it did move. Okay. All right. Maybe I just didn't have it stuck down enough up here. I must say I am impressed. Let's see how it worked. Yep, I didn't have it stuck down enough before because now it doesn't want to come up. There it goes. Oh, that is awesome. Let's see if I can, excuse me, move this stencil over and finish the edges. Let's make sure we stick it right down to the mat. And let's get in here. I'm not going to hold it. I want to see what it does. Okay, now we'll try the other side. I have to be a little careful because, oh, let's pick it up and move it over a little bit. So that, yes, I think a larger 12 by 12 size so that I could fit it on my whole mat, not just my stamping platform. And then I could color my larger pieces of paper without going off the edge of the grip mat. Okay, I'm liking this. And then if you get your ink off onto the mat, oh yeah, okay. You just clean it with water. All right, now see if I can peel it up. Okay, it peels off here fairly easily. And now I'm going to put these back on because I do work here in an unfinished basement, so it gets a little dusty and stuff down here. But oh, that was well worth it. Okay. Now, this should be dry enough that I need to do a little bit of embellishing. I'm not going to go full glitz and glitter today. I've got instead some of these clear water drop. They're not really water drops, they're just round circles. And I'm just going to put some here and there. Get out my little glue bottle. Oh, it's hiding over here, pardon me. And let's see. Or do I want to go tiny ones? Four. Okay, that's going to be it. So I'm going to use my wax pencil, move them aside, put the glue down. There, that is it. That is all the glitz and oh, you know what? I gotta add a little bit more. I can't not do it. I'm just gonna take a little bit of gold, and this is my Artistro permanent marker pen, extra fine point. It's a gold. It's an oil-based paint, and I'm just gonna put a few little drops in the center of some of these flowers. Not really glittery. It just adds a little extra glitz and glitter. That's it. I have an idea for a project for the next few days. I came across the, cleaning up my craft room, I got a whole bunch of these doilies when our neighborhood craft store Packatans went out of business. I filled up my shopping cart. Actually, I filled up 3 shopping carts, and I think I only spent $30 or $40 all together. But when I pulled out this stamp that I did this sample image on before, this was the red rubber stamp that I tried in the platform, and it does work. I kind of thought about putting them in here, but I want to do something with these doilies. So I need to think on that overnight and get inspired. But that's it for today. Oh, I guess I do want to show you the other pieces that came with that kit from Waffle Flower. You get a grip mat guides, which I don't see me using, but I'll play with those. And then you get this little tiny 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch grip mat, which I think I could use that when I'm coloring small die cuts, but I think it's just easier to pull out the big one. And then there's a 6 by 6 grip mat, a 5.5 by 8.5 inch grip mat, which I think I could maybe put that one here when I'm doing coloring die cuts again. So that's a bigger size. But I used the 4 1/4 by 6 inch in the tiny Misty, in the 6.5 by the 8.5 in the regular size Misty, and then the 8.5 by 8.5 is the one that I used today when I was stenciling that sample for you. It also comes with a stencil extender, so that if your stencil was smaller and you needed to extend it out so that it would be covered by the sticky mat. I don't know if I'll use that or not, but I do have some smaller stencils, so I'll play with that. But that is it for today. I hope you have the great rest of the day. And if you see this magazine with the stamp set at Joann Fabrics, I just got it yesterday, which is March 4th of 2024. If they still have it, I recommend it just because of the stamp set alone. But definitely see if you can get it on a discount. But I'll also be looking into the subscription. Thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.